London, Trafalgar Square, April 12th, 2 weeks out from the London Marathon. Today is my final long training run at the London Landmarks Half Marathon, my 4th half marathon in 6 weeks. Breaking 80 for the first time at Brighton Half, pacing my older brother D Mills to a 1 hour 21 PB at the Eastbourne Half, and then a 1 hour 22 at the very hilly Hastings Half, a 3-minute PB. Just 2 weeks out from the London Marathon, where I'm trying to break 2 hours and 50 minutes for the first time. This won't be an all-out PB assault, but I will still be looking to do a 1 hour 21 or 22.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. I feel commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you.
Ah, sod it, all-out PB assault it is. We're underway, Dementia UK there. Shouldering past King's Trust, and look how high up I am. This field of 20,000 hammering round the streets of London. Turning the corner shortly to seeing Big Ben in its full glory with the sun beaming behind. How could I not give the crowd what they wanted? Okay. Let's calm down. Let's tell you the story as I always do. The first 10k of this race, mostly I kept it in hand ever so slightly. I'm letting the faster runners come past me at the moment. I've got away well at the start. I know from when Damo did this race a couple of years ago, he was just stuck for 2 or 3k, losing heaps of time. I just wanted to be able to just run at my own pace, aiming for a 1 hour 21, 1 hour 22, so sort of 3:52-ish per kilometre. That will do absolutely nicely 2 weeks out from the London Marathon. But come along and see exactly how the atmosphere at my first ever big race in London may have got the better of me. As we make our way over Westminster Bridge now. Little bit of an early hill going over the bridge, not a big one, but actually this course was a little bit more undulating than I was expecting it to be. And there were an awful lot of 180-degree turns that are coming up now. I was not expecting it to be that many, to be honest. Which was another reason that I didn't think a PB was just anywhere near on the cards. As we go through the first turn, let's see how we do it. Not too shabby. Look at that view of Big Ben and Westminster Abbey. Feeling very lucky to get in on the ballot for this race, as well as getting in for the ballot for the London Marathon. Currently going along at 3:45 per kilometre. My PB is 3:47 per kilometre, so we're not that far off it, but we have dropped that pace down a little bit more to 3:50 at the moment. And look at the thousands of runners, Big Ben's, London phone boxes coming the other way. An absolute brilliant day raising money for so many charities. I think it was like 14 million raised in the end. Most of the 180-degree turns were cheer zones for different charities. The first one was Tommy's, which is the main sponsor of the London Landmarks Half. And we will go through many more during this half marathon. Now turning the corner to run along the Victoria embankment, already approaching the end of the first kilometre. Those woos really never stopped, even though I think they were mainly for the first female in front of me. And through the first K we go, a 3:45. Okay, it's pretty quick going, but my heart rate, 154, very much in control. We skip a little bit now to 1.5k. I am desperately trying not to go too quickly, and I remember thinking, looking down at my watch, it doesn't feel like I'm going this fast, and I was aware that in the streets of London, GPS was going to play tricks on you. We go through the first mile there, which I don't think I clocked in my mind at the time, in 6:06. So So that's pretty much 3:48 per kilometre, so watch probably wasn't that far off, but you can see now, jumping down to 3:55 per K, this is one I'm just going to have to keep an eye out on the mile and 5K markers compared to my watch, because they could be quite different. A few members of the Tempo Police overtaking me now. Runners you just know instantly are too strong for you of how easy it looks as they stride away from you. Go well, my friend. Fast forward to just before 3K now. Orange and Pink Top has snuck past me. The First Lady is now putting a few meters on me. The second kilometre was another 3:45 according to El Watcho, but the thing I'm most happy with is that my heart rate still in the 150s, almost at 3K, and just having to contend with a little bit of an uphill now, but I'm feeling very, very good and in control. Another sub 350, 3:49 third K as we approach some more screaming spectators. The Shard glistening in the background as well, as Pink and Orange Vest just edges away from me as we were about to go into a tunnel where the GPS has no idea what's going on. But we have a lovely little boogie just before. Coming out the other side, now at 4.4K, another lad in Alpha Flies overtaking me. Despite a supposed 3:41 in that fourth kilometre. Need to see the official 5K board. First drink station coming up in a gentle incline. The dreaded paper cup. Let's see how we get this down myself. Oh, yeah, beautiful. Get it in that bag, J Mills.
Thank you.
Beautiful. On our way. Almost at 5K. As we are now overtaken by Big Shoulders. There is the 3 mile sign. And he's bringing a friend along with him. Oh, let's turn that down so we don't get copyrighted. Round the 180-degree turn. On my watch, I've already hit 5K, but I think the official board was there, 19:07. It didn't say it was 5K, but I was assuming that was the 5K timing board anyway. On my watch, I'd done a 3:51 fifth kilometre, an 18:57 5K versus the 19:07 where the marker was, which I've put in the box on the bottom left there. And it should have been a simple calculation to work out my watch was about 10 seconds off, but it didn't really come into my mind. I just knew my watch was a little bit off. I was quite happy. I knew I was at least going near 350 per K. My heart rate had only just hit 160. Oh God, let's get out of here. Camera was not enjoying that tunnel. I am sat behind Big Shoulders and Oxford to Cambridge. My 6th K somewhere near a 3:49. That will do nicely. Going past the Alzheimer's Research UK cheer zone there with what looks like a couple of very strong runners just ahead of me that I'm trying to stick with at the moment in what felt like a very gradually uphill section, just forcing that heart rate to climb just a little bit. Black Vest sneaking past me now as I can see the 4 mile sign coming up. The cheering was just relentless, but I didn't want to push too hard. We were definitely slowly climbing. Big Shoulders and Oxford to Cambridge just getting away from me, but I have managed to reclaim my position from Blackvest as we have man in turquoise and potentially the first female beginning to come back towards us now. As we turn right through the British Heart Foundation cheer zone, pretty much at 1/3 distance. And yes, just after 7K, nice little downhill section, man in turquoise has been overtaken. The first female just ahead of me with Big Shoulders, Oxford to Cambridge, as I suspected. He just looks a little bit too fast for us. He's motoring on. Turning right past Bank Station, and I make a little burst for it past the first female. I didn't want Big Shoulders getting too far ahead of me. That 7th kilometre was a 3:52, so are we just slowing a little bit? It was mostly uphill. I think it was 8 metres uphill overall. Skipping forward to just before the end of the 8th kilometre, and I have managed to stay locked in behind Big Shoulders. Another sharp turn with brilliant support there from the Macmillan Cancer Support cheer zone. And up in the distance, I spot the 5 mile sign. And with the help of a little bit of a downhill, on my watch at least, that 8th kilometre, a 3:43. And annoyingly, I did miss it on camera, but in this pretty pleasant downhill section, I managed to make it past Big Shoulders. There was another guy in a white top as well. And I think that is orange and yellow top from earlier coming towards me, but it could be someone completely new. I'm not completely sure. I just know 165 heart rate, almost 9k into the race. I'm in a good place in a half marathon. But I still was not thinking at all about PBs at this point. Very soon I was, as I have a little glance behind to see where Big Shoulders is at. He's not far behind. And yes, it's definitely him approaching 10k now. Bank of England building just ahead of us. Don't think I'm currently going at 3 flat. Oh, I've broken into the 2s. GPS with no idea what's going on with all these tall buildings around. Hopefully there is a map soon that will mark where the 10k really is, because my watch is well off as I move onto the shoulder of pink and orange top. And I hit 10k. 9th k was a 3:49 on my watch. 10k a 3:39. Not sure about that one, Jeff, but let's have a look for the mat, which I believe is right there by that marshal. So we go through that in 38:02, meaning our second 5k was about an 18:55, and we are currently tracking for a mid 1 hour 20 to high 1 hour 20. And in this small section where I could just be alone with my thoughts, there wasn't anyone cheering around here. I was looking down at my watch as it ticked over into this 3rd kilometre, and I got the new average pace, and I was seeing a lot of 3:30 to 3:35 while feeling incredibly in control. Yes, I knew I couldn't fully trust it, but as long as I was feeling this good, I was just going to continue just to start leaning on the pace for the first time. I know if my heart rate hasn't hit 170, I've got a lot more to give, and to be honest, in my mind, I was thinking I was already fairly close to PB pace, and if I did manage to speed up, I could potentially break my PB by quite a lot. As the bells chime for Crown's appearance after a supposed 3:32 11th kilometre. We'll see about that. Oh, those crowds. Any thought of slowing down, playing it sensible, just went out the window every 200 metres when I heard those whoops and cheers. Through the breast cancer now cheer zone, 180-degree turn. And I could see how much distance I was putting on people. A fair amount had been put on orange and pink top. Big Shoulders not too far behind him. Gotta keep that foot on the gas. And that I can see someone ahead just slowly crawling towards me now at the end of this 12k. That I go through in 3:48, which I reckon actually the average of the last two was more how quick I was going. So around 3:40 per k maybe at this point. But the 13th k does have 10 metres of uphill to deal with. So we'll see how we fare. The crowd basically making it feel like it was flat. 12.7k. I'm slowly catching him ahead of me. You can see we have climbed to 30 metres. There is a 180-degree turn coming, though. The Great Ormond Street zone has been completed. 8 miles, only 5 to go. And I have put a nice chunk of time on those lads that were behind me. A 3:57 13th k. Okay, it didn't feel like that, but we'll see shortly. But a very inviting downhill section to run through now on gloriously pleasant tarmac. Not a pothole in sight. And down here, I was seeing on my watch a lot of 3:40 per k. I was hoping that's what I was actually doing. Not as many tall buildings around here, but still plenty. There's me having a little look at the camera, checking it's on. Thankfully it is. What a gorgeous young lad. Oh no, I've just told it to fuck off and turn off. Oh, it did. And at 13.6k, I am moving on the side of Purpley and Pink Man, moving through, taking another victim. The Team Shelter bring it home, lads. Absolutely loved that move. I can't see anyone else ahead of me, but now we are just chasing time. How much damage can we do with all these nice downhill sections? Ah, I remember this. Some lovely Lime bike friends just coming straight across me there. Is this person gonna come? Oh, thank you. That woman on the side says There's a race going on. I may have said fucking idiots under my breath there, and I stand by that. May have lost a split second there, but we're all good. But as we do get to the business end of proceedings and where those seconds really matter, the weather's been warming up to the mid-teens, and the sponsor of today's video, Invigorate Electrolytes, has really been helping me. If you've watched the channel before, you know I do not thrive when the temperatures start to rise even above 10 degrees, and it got to 15 today. Invigorate Electrolytes give 500 milligrams of sodium per serving, which sits right in the range recommended for endurance efforts to replace what you lose through sweat. They're designed with a performance-focused electrolyte ratio with no sugar, no calories, no fillers, so I can manage my carbs separately with gels. They're naturally flavoured using real fruit made in the UK and work out at 25p per serving. The vibes here, by the way. Invigorate are currently offering a brilliant bundle where you get 2 flavours, their bottle, which is 6 months worth of servings, and with the code CMR25 you can get all of that for £33. So click the link below to get your Invigorate today as we head towards another incredibly loud area. Flying downhill at apparently 305 per K, but I actually wouldn't be surprised if it was there because I was really hammering it home. Ah, a water station. I'm sure this will all very much go in my mouth. Glug, glug, glug. Literally threw it all over me. I think I got about a milliliter in. Oh, God. That is me spotting the hill ahead of us. It's not massive, but it looked a lot worse to my eye than it does on camera here. And while we trudge on up it, I'll put the 14th K on the screen, a 3:38. Is that true? Who bloody knows? But now, in the 55th minute of this race, I will put my PB down the bottom right, a 1 hour 19:39. That's what we're chasing. Can we get the job done? This little hill certainly wasn't helping. But this was. Hello.
Welcome to the Fleet Street U-turn. Welcome to Research UK, and you are awesome!
Cancer Research UK bringing potentially the biggest vibes of the whole day. Drag queens, people on stilts, what else do you want? I've got to bring them home a PB. We've gone through 15k there, all got very exciting. Let's have a look at the splits. A 340 in the 15k, I bloody hope that's true. And the 3rd we had sped up even more in 1845. That is 345 per kilometre. That is PB pace. But we're going to have to hold that or get quicker to get this PB, as we were a little bit under in that first 10k. We are probably hovering around 120 flat at the moment with 6Ks to go. I hit 16k on my watch at least, a 344. That is absolutely beautiful. 5 more of them and the PB bells should be ringing our name tonight. Park run to go, D-Mills. There is our 10-mile sign, a park run to go. And with the help of ChatGPT, we go through in 1 hour and 55 seconds. I have now got to do the final 3 miles in 3:44 per kilometre, which is an 18:38 5k. Tough, but I want it bad. And apparently, according to my watch, a 3:32 17th kilometre. And I was now properly starting to rag it. Could I dip well under my PB? First things first, though, check the camera is on. It is, we're cooking. Let's not miss what could be Crown's finest hour. Midway through this 18th kilometre, I've got this massive street in the middle of London all to myself. I was seeing some incredibly beautiful average pace in this 4.5k on my watch, which I knew probably wasn't quite real, but it just needed to be close and I was going to smash my PB. 18th K, a 3:43. Yes, yes, and yes. And as we come out the tunnel now, we have basically got 2k of eardrum bursting screams to get us to the finish line. Come on, J Mills, keep going. Oh, baby, take me back. At least I get to experience this all over again for double the distance in 2 weeks' time. A slight uphill section in this underpass was not very welcome here, but it's not too long. It flattens out very quickly, which we reach now as we go past Mr. Potato Head on the other side of the road. Almost forgot to put the 19th K up there. Apparently the quickest of the whole race, a 3:31. There was a tunnel involved in that kilometre, so I'm not sure that's true, but it would be nice. We'll get more confirmation of where we are really when we hit the 12-mile sign shortly. And I can see a couple of potential victims moving towards us in the distance. And there is that sweet 12-mile sign moving towards us. We go through in 1 hour, 13 and 29 seconds, meaning I only need a 6 minute and 10 second final mile, which is 3:51 per kilometre, and I am very confident I can get that. So how far can I get under my PB now?
There it is.
Oh yes, let's fucking go. Let's go get those two lads ahead. Almost at 20k now. The live speed 340 per k. That's going to do absolutely nicely to smash my PB by 15 seconds maybe. My heart rate's only recently just gone into the 170s. I am feeling so amazingly strong on my way to a PB here. Picking it up even more now, 3:35 per k. I just briefly saw. We've got a white vest and a purple vest just ahead of us. I hit 20k on my watch, but I've not seen the map yet. There it is. We go through in 1:15 and 31 seconds. My watch is maybe 100 meters off, which is fairly normal for a half marathon, so I'm fairly happy with that. And with 1.1k to go, I need to average 3:46 per kilometre until the end. I will be shocked if I can't manage that. Come on, Jane Mills. Let's see how far you can get under. White top is disposed of. Purple top is next. And I almost run into the back of a lady crossing the road, but we are okay. 3:35 per k as we move past purple top. There is some slight carnage just ahead of me at this crossing, which is not being marshalled very well, I don't think. Please get out the way. Please get out the way. Jesus. Down to 3:30 per kilometre. 1 hour, 16 and 53 seconds on the clock. We are now approaching the final of what feels like 700 180-degree turns. Around 500 metres until home. Around we go, Jane Mills, and sprint out for all you're worth. We want every second. The final turn on the course, and then it's a straight line for home. Thank you, whoever that was, gave me a well-needed boost of adrenaline in the final few hundred meters, as we now look to see if we can properly kick for home. Down towards 3 flat per kilometre, 2:55, I've done it! If only for a split second into the twos, but look at the clock on the bottom right. You can see the finish line coming into view, but I've only got 20 seconds to get there. And it was in a really strange place, that finish line, right on a corner. I wasn't sure if it was the real one. I've been done right in before at Manchester Half, thinking the finish line was at something like that, but it wasn't. But I think it probably is. I eased up a little bit, thinking I had to run a little bit further. Oh my God, this is way closer than it should be. 35:36. What on earth happened there? I only needed a 6:10 final mile. 3:50 per k, and I have snuck under, I hope. Let's have a look at the official time. It is a PB, a 1 hour, 19 and 36 seconds by 3 seconds, finishing 21st place out of 20,000 runners, which was very unexpected. I am slightly suspicious that just the final part of that race, where the finish line was not really where it was meant to be, because on the Strava map beforehand, the finish was in a different place and there wasn't a 13-mile sign. And I think my watch with the markers was close enough until 20k, and then just all of a sudden, I've apparently got at 350 per k despite a fairly quick finish, as you can see. So a little bit dubious of that finish, but luckily still a PB by 3 seconds. And to further add to my suspicions, my 15 to 20k officially was a 1903, slowing down quite a bit from the 1846 10 to 15k. Despite it being my fastest 5k on my watch of an 1820, I know it's definitely off a little bit my watch, but I'm surprised it being that far off. And then the final 1.1k, according to this, was 319 per kilometre, which we saw when I hit that 20k mat. If I went at that quickly, 319 per kilometre, I would have smashed my PB by 20 seconds or so. So I do feel like something fishy went on, and even the guy with the green top who finished ahead of me overtook me at the start. His finishing position was like miles behind me at 1 hour 22, so I don't know what the hell happened with his chip. But anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. We will be back in a couple of days. D-Mills going for a sub 37, his first ever sub 37 at the Brighton 10k that was going alongside the Brighton Marathon last weekend. And then in a week and a half's time, it's the London Marathon. Can I break 2 hours and 50 minutes? We shall see you very soon.